Hello, Think Natalia community. Today I have the honor of interviewing a very fascinating, amazing person who knows a lot about leadership and sales. His name is Markus Milz. He is a top 100 speaker. He is an author and he's a consultant, focusing on, as I said, strategy, sales, and leadership. So Markus, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Natalia. Nice being here.
Alrighty, so the topic sales and leadership, was that something that you always enjoyed and always liked, or did you kind of evolve or work yourself up to this job and profession and very successful company that you have today? What's the story behind it?
It's the second. I had never the idea of becoming a sales expert. When I started running my own business 20 years ago, I had no idea about sales. And that almost ruined me. I started a career as a consultant and an auditor. That were my first two jobs. And then 20 years ago, I started to run my own business with five former colleagues of mine, and we failed. We failed because we didn't know how to acquire clients. And then after a while, one after the other of my partners left the company because we weren't successful.
Yeah.
And I thought, whoa, that can't be so difficult, that sales thing. And I started reading about thousands of books and visiting coaching and all these things. And after a while, I was thinking, well, now I know how it works. And I started writing my own books. And that's how it worked for the last 20 years. Next week, at the end of August, my newest book will be published with the title Sales Systematic, or Systematic Sales. And I think now I understood how it works, sales. So it wasn't my idea at the beginning.
Got it. It's interesting because how often do we hear the story that it was really created out of a necessity, out of urgency. And well, you also started to learn the topic, and I can see you passionate about it. And that was very interesting because when you and we had our first conversation, I realized, well, this man is so successful at what he does. He's great at selling. He knows how to create content. Like, he doesn't need me. Like, what is it that he can learn from me? So why did you decide to join the Think Natalia Tribe and to be part of the LinkedIn group coaching?
Well, that's not true, Natalia. I needed you. That's the truth. I needed you, and you helped me a lot.
Okay.
How can I say? I somehow took an abbreviation. Of course, everyone can learn everything by himself.
Yeah.
But why not talking to an expert? Why not talking to someone who really is really deep into that issue? And that what I was thinking a year ago when we first talked. And and I was correct. It really worked out. So I never think that sales is the one secret. I think sales is like a good craftsman who knows which tools to use in which situation. And there's not that one tool you have to use. There's a lot of toolboxes you have to fill. And that's the idea. And one of the major tools you have to use today is social selling, is using the social platforms. And the major platform for me, and the major business platform for me nowadays is LinkedIn. And that's why I asked you, Natalia, can you help me? And you helped me. You really helped me a lot. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you. Can you remember what were the first, let's say, 2 or 3 aha moments or milestones when you started to get used to LinkedIn, understood its potentials? What were game changers, or these moments for you during which you thought, wow, I would have never expected that, or not to this extent?
Yeah. Well, I can't really tell it on the timeline. But it's more or less 1.5 years ago since I started getting deeper and deeper into LinkedIn. And after a while, maybe 6 months or so, that was the first aha moment when people who I declared my target group, like managing directors or sales people, started that they wanted to connect with me. And it was strange. I really never had that before. In the past, I only had people who want to sell me something who
Mm.
came to me on LinkedIn and tried to connect. But well, since the last 12 months, managing directors, board members, and people like that came and wanted to connect to me. That was the first of a lot of aha moments. The second
Mm.
was that my community, my network began to grow and grow and grow and grow in faster and faster and faster, and it got easier and easier and easier each month. And that was fascinating how easy that became.
Mm.
Thirdly, and that's the most important thing, of course, is that I start earning money with that. I start getting leads. And I would say, well, I am as a sales consultant, I know about 100 ways of getting new clients,
Yeah.
of acquire new clients. And today I would say that, well, 20 to 25% of my leads I generate by social media. And that was really
Nice.
fascinating. Yeah, it is really more than nice. That was really fascinating to see. Well, at the beginning, I was a little bit skeptic. Well, everybody is talking about social media. I don't know. Well, let's try, let's check out, let's find out if it works. And it works. So 20%
Absolutely.
of my projects, of my clients come via social media, more or less. And that's fascinating.
That is amazing. That's a very, very huge percentage. And it once again shows that social selling works if you know how to do it. But you also have a team, right? I remember that. I think I remember that when we started, you also said that you have some employees and I think maybe even family members who worked with you on your LinkedIn content, on your LinkedIn strategy. So it once again shows that it's impossible if you do everything on your own. You need a team, you need to delegate. I need to know this is what I'm good at. I work until here, and the rest are delegate. Was that the fact? Can you correct me if I'm wrong? Tell us more about it.
No, you're correct. Well, I'm working with the team. So I'm the managing director of Milz and Comp. And Milz and Comp is a consultancy. Milz and Comp is an academy. We train people and we bring together people. We are a network. And altogether, we are more or less 50 people working for Milz and Comp. And you mentioned it, my family as well. This is my daughter, she's 15, my son, he's 17. And well, I'm in my 50s and they are digital natives, of course. So what's easier or what's simpler than ask them, well, can you help me? You're born with the internet at
The
least.
selfie stick.
Yeah, of course, stick and all that. And yeah, that's part of my team, and my kids really help me regarding social media, my LinkedIn account, and yeah, as you just mentioned it, it's a teamwork, and most of the time you don't have the resources to do it all yourself, and you need people to help you. True.
Absolutely. Okay. And I think you also have a very, how would I call it, a very healthy way of looking on a network expansion. So you're not that kind of person who's like, oh, I let everybody into my network. I want to have 100,000 people following me. I remember that you mentioned that you're relatively picky, but you have this incredibly powerful networks of people in high positions, of people working in very prestigious companies. So for everybody who doesn't understand why you would do that, can you explain the strategy or this philosophy with that person?
Yeah. I'm a little bit undecisive in that case. 10 years, a few years ago, I thought, well, a big network helps. Statistically, it helps, of course. If I do a posting and people like it, they share it, and people see it and like it themselves, and that helps mathematically
Sure.
to get awareness and all that stuff. But on the other hand, it's a question of resources. So if I want to deal and handle and to communicate with people, I have to be what you call a little bit picky. To say, well, I can't communicate well, at least in a dialogue
Yeah.
with well, as you said, 100,000 people. That's impossible.
Yeah.
So I have to be a little bit selective, and for that reason, I'm happy if managing directors, sales leaders, board members And these people who are, by the way, my target group, that's the people I am talking to all day. And if these people appear and try to connect to me, or I want to connect with them, and well, that works fantastic. And it's even really more easy than in the past, like telephone acquisition.
Oh yeah.
It's really easy to ask the board member of, let's say, Siemens or Telecom or any big company, hey, shall we connect? And the board member says, yes, why not? And we started communication.
Yeah.
And that's so easy. I had never expect that it would turn out so easy as it really is. And so it's both. If I had the resources, I wouldn't mind if my network was 100,000.
Yeah.
But as long as my resources are limited,
yeah.
I would select attractive clients or people to communicate with.
Absolutely. And you're also incredibly good in getting public relations and free visibility, as I call it. So whenever I scroll for my newsfeed, I see you in the podcast interview here and with an award there and shaking hands with that person there. And I don't know, but you're everywhere when it comes to that. So my question would be, how did you get these free public relations opportunities? Was it people from the tribe? Was it that when you created more content, people approached you? Was it people out of your network? And what is it that people need to know about public relation opportunities on LinkedIn?
Yeah, you explained it perfectly almost. You have to start. You have to get a start. You have to become visible. People have to know that you are on this earth, on this planet. And if you have managed that, it's getting easier and easier and easier each month. So I just got an invitation to a podcast yesterday. And they all said, hey, Markus, I've been seeing you on the podcast with Chris Funk or wherever, and I like that. What about talking? Are you interested in coming to my podcast and that? So if you start becoming visible and you're not an idiot, so the quality seems to be okay, that people say, well, I like what she says. It's getting easier, and that's how it works. And of course, your tribe helped me a lot, because that's the idea of Coach Scouting, as far as I understood it, to have a community, to start with a tribe that is already there and which helps themselves. And that was really proper start, a really good start. And as I call it, a really good abbreviation for something I would have needed 2 or 3 years more otherwise. So that worked out.
Amazing. I'm super happy to hear that. What else is interesting for me? So what's the easiest way to get in touch with you? Is it through your webpage? Is it through your LinkedIn? How should people contact you?
Well, I would say as far as we are talking about LinkedIn right now, so the approach via LinkedIn is a proper approach. It's really easy to find me there. Just Markus with K and Milz, and you find me. And I think there's you can see much information in my profile, but you can even have a look at my homepages. This is either markusmilz.de or milz-comp.de, which is my company homepage. The other homepage is my speaker homepage. And so feel free to contact me on whatever network you like to.
Awesome. So you're fluent in German, in English. Where are you based? In which city in Germany?
Cologne.
In Cologne. Okay.
More or less in the center of Germany. Well, we acquire most of our clients, let's say 95% we acquire in DACH, in the German-speaking area.
Yep.
But we are more and more international. We start acquiring partners in the US, in Japan, and Russia. So if we are working for big companies, well, at least the small and medium-sized enterprises are our main target group, but still we are working for some big companies, and they always ask, well, you did a perfect job in training my sales team in Germany and Austria, but what about my sales team in Russia and America and Japan and so on? And most of the time I can say, yeah, we can help you there as well, because we have partners sitting there, and they can do the same job as we can. We are working, we are serving from the same sales toolbox,
Yeah.
and it's more or less about one quality. So we are getting more and more international, and that's another nice part of social media, to be visible not only in Köln or Germany, then all over the world.
Absolutely. Amazing. Markus, is there anything else worth mentioning? Anything that we forgot? Anything that's close to your heart? And if not, what would be your golden nugget, your key advice to everybody who's working in sales or struggling with sales? Something that they need to hear or need to be reminded of?
Yeah. Two things, two ideas, two last points. First of all, don't be too skeptical. People are like, I work a lot for the machinery industry, and I would say 90% of them have not understood what power in social media lies, what power is in social media. And people always think, yeah, social media is something for friends and family, you know, that Facebook, Insta stuff and so on. But no, I was skeptical myself as well 2-3 years ago, but I thought, well, I have to learn a new instrument, a new tool. Let's figure out how it works, and it works fantastic.
Yep.
So if you know how to deal with it and what to do, forget telephone acquisition and all that stuff. That's well, the 20th century stuff, and we're in the 21st century, and forget telephone acquisition on all these kinds you might have learned 20 years ago. So don't be skeptical, be open-minded, and try how it works, and you will be surprised how good it works. That's the first. And the second one is do it like I did. Take the abbreviation. Is there a shorter way than learning it all by yourself? And I would have needed 2, 3, 4 years if I would have reached the same status I've reached by now with your help, Natalia. So you and your tribe was really, really helpful using it. And the second thing is, the people I met there were really a nice community. It was fun, it was smart, it was cool, and I really had a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward in our cooperation within the next years.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Oh, thanks a lot for sharing that. That always makes me happy to hear that. And I can see what kind of beautiful friendships and, as you said, strategic collaboration, business partnerships came out of it. So that's good to hear. I thank you a lot for your time and for your trust and for your time and energy. And I will definitely make sure that when I will be in Cologne next time to reach out, and we keep in touch. And until then, I wish you all the best for your journey. Thanks once again, Markus.
Thank you, Natalia.
Alrighty, and for everybody who watched this interview and says, well, that woman, her approach sounds interesting, don't be shy, simply reach out to us. The best way to do that is to simply go to coachingwithnatalia.com. Over there, you're going to find a letter. I've written a few personal lines for you. And if you say, well, it sounds cool, then simply book a call with me. My team will reach out to you, will see the application. If they think it's a good match, then we're going to have a conversation very soon. And during that conversation, we're going to have a look at where you are right now with your LinkedIn strategy, where you would like to go. And based on that, I'm going to build a free organic LinkedIn marketing and lead gen strategy for you. So once again, if that sounds good, coachingwithnatalia.com, and I see you next time.